Welcome back to Cruel Angel Gaming. So today we're going to be working on a 1952 Hudson Hornet, and it's pretty rough shape, I would say, but we'll make sure that we can get it looking nice like we always do. Alright, so it is like I thought it was. It's in pretty rough shape, but you know, I mean, what did you want? I mean, it came from the junkyard. There's not much left interior wise. Maybe just a seat, but that's about it, really. Let's see what we can do with this. I think we can, if we redo it correctly, you know, we could get some decent horsepower out of it, I would think. I don't think it would, you know, be real hard to get a lot of, you know, horsepower out of it, but the complete motor is going to need to be rebuilt, as always. There's some actual parts that we can reuse, like the block, depending on how trashed it is. There's not much else from the motor that I can see that's going to be reusable. The block's pretty, like I say, pretty trashed. Carb, all that's pretty trashed. I think we're just better off buying performance parts and just, you know, saying the heck with it and just, you know, do whatever it can do for horsepower, because I think that's honestly going to help us a little bit. I think honestly that would be the best decision to make. Of course, that's also going to depend on what's wrong with the motor and seeing what we can reuse from it. I hope we can reuse the block, and, you know, I know we can probably end up reusing the water pump depending on, again, how bad it is. I hope that, you know, we can reuse some of the rims, but I know this rim, you know, some of the ones that are rusted out, I should say, like, you know, the one that you saw, but I think it's pretty rusted. I think we're gonna end up having to probably end up just redoing all the, you know, all your rims, all your tires, you know, depending on, like I say, if some of the rims can be saved, but what, like, if I can only save 2 rims, it's not really worth it in the long run, because I know how much these rims are. For the rims that I think they are, they're not that expensive. So we might just, you know, buy new rims, put new tires on it, and just pretty much give it a complete overhaul. We'll give it some sports tires. But yeah, pretty much the whole suspension also looks pretty bad. I mean, it's just trashed. I didn't think it'd be this trash though. It shouldn't have been. There's no way it should have been this trash. But I guess from the junkyard, you know, you never know what you're getting. They actually get into it, I guess. But man, I thought it would be a little bit better. Because, you know, in the spot that it was sitting wasn't too bad. You know, I mean, of course it was in the dirt a little bit because one tire had gone flat. I guess a couple of them probably have by now. But yeah, I didn't think it'd be that bad. But, you know, just goes to show, I guess you just can't, you know, don't believe everything you see from the junkyard, you know. But, you know, it doesn't look too bad, like, body-wise, but, you know, I mean, there's going to be some fixing that has to go on there, too. Like, everything's just going to need overhauled. Like, that's just the best way to put it. Suspension's going to need to be completely redone. Transmission, we might be able to use that or not. I don't know. I might just put a performance transmission in it. Just that way, then everything's done. Then we ain't going to mess with it. And everything, like I say, is just set. And all you got to do is just, you know, pretty much rebuild it. We're gonna put her, if we're gonna rebuild the motor with performance in mind, I guess we're gonna have to, you know, put performance exhaust, every performance part that I can think of, like brakes. Depending if the back ones take regular brakes, then we'll upgrade those. If not, then, you know, then it will just be the fronts only. It'll still have nice, decent stopping power at least, which would be pretty nice, I guess, but it's just always, and there's always one stuck bolt. Every time you get one from junkyard, there's always a stuck bolt somewhere. I've always noticed that. There's just multiple, I guess, on this one, but and then sometimes it looks like it should be rusted, and it's not. And then other times, like on rims and stuff, like it'll always be 1, 2. I've never seen a completely full, like, wheel be rusted, all the lug nuts be rusted on, but I guess it's possible. I've just never seen it before. And yeah, it looks like only 2 rims are good. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this tire removed up out of the way. Once this tire gets moved, pretty much mean that all we got left to do is the suspension on the other side, and I hope it doesn't take too long. Alright, let's see if we can't get some of the suspension apart. Of course, you know, you gotta pull all your bushings. All these bushings are bad. I'm just saying, you know, they're pretty much bad. Some of them not looking so bad, but we're just gonna go ahead and replace them anyway. We're gonna replace all the suspension components in the front and rear. Well, the ones that we can't save anyway. Bushings being one of them. You know, certain, you know, parts just being way too rusted out to even try to save. Even the outer and inner tie rods are pretty much junk. Like, pretty much everything on this thing is junk, you know. Steering rack, kinda junk, but we might be able to repair that. You know, it's just, everything hopefully comes apart and goes back together easier. Well, I should say everything should go back together easier than it came apart, but there's no really proof that will happen either. You know, it's just, I hope that it goes back together easier, but at this point, who knows? Everything's just being a pain to tear apart because everything's rusted into place. Nothing really wants to come apart. I got two rims that are pretty much garbage, so we're gonna have to end up replacing them. So I think I might just go all new rims, all new tires at this point, because, you know, why would I only want to save 2 of them when I need 4, you know? So unless it was a motorcycle, then I could probably get away with it, but yeah, this I can't really get away with it too much, and most of the stuff's just rust together. So we'll keep, you know, spraying it, taking them apart. Hopefully everything comes apart easy. You know, everything that I can get apart, I should say, that needs to come apart should come apart easy. Other than that, I have no idea what we're gonna do. I mean, for some of this stuff, it's just too rusted out, I think. So what we'll have to end up doing probably is just buying brand new parts, which would be nice, but also costly, but nice. So I think that's gonna be the plan, is so I don't have to do anything, you know, with trying to repair certain parts, because I think they're gonna be too rusted out to even try to even repair. But, you know, I could be wrong too, but so, like, some of these leaf springs, like the other side leaf springs and this leaf springs look pretty bad. You know, the gas tank, you can't repair, so you have to replace it. I mean, you could probably reuse it and clean it up, but nah. We'll just replace it and then get this rim off, which looks probably unusable on the other side, I would say. So if that one's unusable, which pretty much everything looks like it is up to this point, I'm guessing everything is going to have to be bought brand new, at least for the wheels and tires. It's going to have to be bought brand new, because I might as well, because it's not going to cost me that much more for, you know, I'm going to have to buy 4 tires regardless, but, you know, just add to, you know, add 4 rims onto it, you might as well at that point, you know, for as much money as you're going to be spending, so you might as well just buy all brand new at that point. Now, I mean, as long as we can get the whole thing apart, I'm gonna be happy. But I mean, it just seems like I've got rusted in bolts that are fighting me every other time. I've got just parts that are so rusted that I can't believe it. I mean, I have seen rusty things come out of this junkyard. I mean, way rusty, but it's like, sometimes you don't expect it to be rusty, and sometimes it is rusty, but, you know, I wasn't expecting it to be, like, super rusted out, but apparently it was. Like, it didn't look like it. The rims, you know, kind of looked like they were, like, extremely, like, rusted and gonna have to be replaced, but I didn't think, you know, that we were gonna end up replacing dang near everything, it seems like, in some cases, but that's okay. I mean, we gotta take the motor out and then get that on the stand, and then we'll tear that apart, and then I think that'll pretty much be it at that point. There's not a whole lot left to pull up out of here. Pretty much everything's apart at this point. I mean, I can't believe that it feels like it took forever to get all the parts, you know, taken off. It feels that way, like every time you you find a little rusted like bolt or something like that stops you, like it does. It feels like it takes forever, and some days it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Like I just can't believe, like I keep saying, like it's really, really rusty. But the body didn't look half bad. I mean, yeah, it's rusted and gonna need some, it's gonna need some fixing. But I mean, it's not too far off, But it is, the motor is gonna be the most, hardest part of this whole thing. Because if I don't get this, together right, it's, pretty much done. But we'll get all this torn apart. All of it looks like we're gonna be replacing it with performance. At least like all the, the header and intake and all that. I think we're just gonna do performance where we can, and then we don't have to worry about, some of these parts. So if we, just want to scrap them, I think we might. Like this head for this freaking motor is done. It's too bad. I think that the block might be salvageable though. I could be wrong, but I'm hoping the block's salvageable. Because if the block's salvageable, then we're doing good. I don't know that yet, but we'll know here in a few minutes after we remove a few more things, and then we'll be able to find out if the motor is actually worth just salvaging what we can, or just complete rebuild. I'm not sure at this point. I'm thinking direct rebuild would be pretty good too, but we'll just rebuild it with what we can. Performance would probably be the easiest way to go about it, because, it's just the easiest way to go, it seems like. But, I don't know. I kind of want to rebuild it with performance in mind, because I don't think it came with very much performance, which is not a big deal for some people, but like, if you want to, have parts and accessibility, you kind of got to go performance sometimes to have the ease of accessibility if something goes bad. That's just something that I've learned, you can't sometimes go with stock parts. You have to, just do performance, and then, then you can get right to the parts and have them. But, if you don't, sometimes they're hard to, get if you want all original. But it really does depend, though, I guess, on the person. Me, personally, I think we're just going to build with performance parts for now, because they're just easier to get. At least for this motor. And then, like, we'll see, maybe, if we ever find another one about redoing it, like, just all stock. But I don't know if we'll ever find another one in the junkyard. I don't know. We might get lucky. We might. It just really, really depends. If we do get lucky, it's gonna be finding another one in the junkyard. But if not, not much of a big deal. We'll see if we can find another one. Hopefully we can at some point. Maybe I'll 3-star it or something. Do completely, like, everything overhauled in the motor. Well, let's see, how's the block doing for this car? Who knows? This is the end of the video, so I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.